NagiNaoe101. I guess it's been a little bit since I kind of did a live play like this. Honestly, today's been one of those really interesting days. So far, since I started this back a while, I was gonna talk about a few things. Currently, the issue that happened with a certain little jerk on I'm just gonna say that Facebook has a very lousy way of actually handling drama, so I just sort of look at it and go, fine, I don't want to deal with it. So anyway, that situation was handled quite poorly. Honestly, I was not really sure how I could talk about something like this without someone bringing up the fact that they said I cyberbullied him. Truthfully, I gave him a perspective of how I was feeling about what he was doing to me, and most of it was the fact that he acted as if like if I talked about something he did not like, I was not allowed to talk about it. Like, if I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy XIV, he would not allow it. He viewed it as toxic. When he was confronted with the toxicity, he kind of pretended that, oh, that's not true, you're making it up, blah, blah, blah. I mean, seriously, the kid believed that, not liking, Arkham was toxic. He literally believed that if you didn't like Arkham, which was a game I didn't exactly enjoy, that I was somehow the one that was toxic. And I actually told two of my friends about it, and their comments were that there had to be something wrong with that mentality, because honestly I didn't understand half of what this kid was upset about, because I liked what I liked, but somehow what I liked was exceedingly toxic to this kid. Like, if I liked talking about what I'm talking about right now, Final Fantasy XIV, and enjoying the game, I was suddenly a very, very bad person, that I was a very toxic person. I actually told one of my friends about it, and he said, whoa, that's not how it works. That's not how friendship works. Unfortunately, my word against his did not go over too well, so you can imagine how it went. Yes, I got kicked out of a group because of what this kid said and did, to the point where I actually considered just dropping out of community groups in general, to the point where, yes, I can go back to Facebook. I'm on MeWe right now, and I'm having way more fun on MeWe because there's less drama. There is less of the whole you have to be my friend or I'm gonna make your life difficult. There's less of the do this or else bullshit. Excuse my language. There's less of the I'm the center of the universe type thing, which, let me tell you, Batsy made it really, really uncomfortable to be part of any community I was in because he just did not believe that this game that I'm playing is actually good for me. I cannot handle a lot of excessive blood, guts, and gore. And no offense to Mark Hamill or, no offense to Mark Hamill and the rest of those who were part of the, creation of that game system. Honestly, you guys were actually quite good. I did not feel very upset about it, but I did miss the fact that people have talked poorly about me since I deserted Sage or Spatsy. The reason I left Spatsy the way I did, and it has a lot to do with the way he treats his friends. It is hugely about the way he treats his friends. His friends, I'm sorry to tell people this, his way of treating his friends is in all quite lousy. I'm sorry to tell people that. I'm sorry that I have to be honest and tell you your friend is a really nasty person. I don't want to deal with drama. I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean-spirited. I don't want to hurt anybody. And honestly, my ex-friend made me feel very uncomfortable very quickly, not wanting to do stuff with people because I felt like, oh shoot, I'm gonna hurt somebody. And honestly, that was how I felt for the longest time. And it had everything to do with how my ex-friend treated me. And I don't think that is very fair to do that to people. But unfortunately, with the way people are in this nation, it turns into that whole, you can't do that to your friends. You can't, and I mean, I wondered how anyone could be friends with somebody who treats their friends like crap. I mean, I literally wanted to know how something like this could treat somebody, and the deconstruction of your friendships. My mom once told me when I was little, there was this kid in my class who was a complete jerk. And I was expected to be nice to this kid, and when I finally just said no, my mom just looked at me and said, "Good. You don't deserve something like this. You don't deserve to be treated like crap. You don't deserve to be treated like somebody is doing something wrong." The problem is when you stand up for yourself, most people, namely people you don't know, don't want to listen to you, don't want to be your friend, unless you have something they want. And that is the reason why a couple of my ex-friends got treated the way they did. I mean, I don't think I blame my mom for the way I treated this one kid. He treated me like crap. He literally acted as if what I did to him was not right because I took away his ability to control somebody. And when someone has that sense of control and they want to control somebody, guess what? They're not gonna say, I'm not gonna control you. No, they're gonna go out and they're gonna control you. They're gonna tell you how to do your life, how to live your life. And honestly, I'm not gonna be one of those kids who spends the rest of her life being controlled. I have told friends that people are gonna be assholes. They're gonna try and tell you how to control your life, and it turns nasty and ugly. I have told people, if you want to be friends with somebody, particularly with me, don't treat your friends like crap because you're in a bad mood. Your family is probably somebody. I just don't think it's very fair to some people, particularly when you're in your teens, that you're gonna end up with that one person as a friend, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I was friends with this person. Trust me, I went through that in high school, and I think the biggest influence was what happened to my sister, and I guess I can tell this story because it really is a pretty crappy story. I had a sister. She is no longer with us. She actually passed away. And I'm not gonna tell you guys this story just to be sad or tell you that to feel sorry for me. No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened, how this happened, because honestly I felt bad because my little sister did not deserve this kind of bull. What had happened is there was a girl in her class, I guess I can call her by her first name because she really was not a very nice person. Shafali was a very jealous person, and she really wanted my sister to, I don't know. It was a very bad situation. And when Morello tried, well, I guess I can use my sister's name. When Morello tried to alleviate the situation by being a nice person, by being the good friend. By the way, Morella should have talked to my mom. She should have talked to an adult, and should have been a lot smarter about this, because what happened next was basically blowing everything out the window. We came to school one day, and for one, I don't appreciate people searching my locker, particularly when my sister and I switched lockers. The reason we switched lockers was because Marla complained she was too short for a locker, and I agreed to switch with her because, well, literally the locker was a way too, was really way too short, and she was complaining that it hurt because her back was really sensitive anyway, even back then, even before her car accident. So I agreed to switch lockers with her, and Shafali had spread the rumor that Morella was doing drugs, which, let me tell you, is so far from the truth that I wish I could have just laughed, but I couldn't. I was that frustrated, and honestly, it irritated the hell out of me, and it irritated the hell out of a lot of adults, because here I was, dealing with a lot of drama already, and Morella was already being told this was wrong, you're doing this wrong. I was just like, what the hell is going on here? Morella didn't do anything wrong. Apparently, according to Shafali, my sister did everything wrong. My sister was, doing drugs, which, by the way, she wasn't. She was doing all the stuff, which she wasn't. My sister attempted to handle this without adults, which, by the way, is like the dumbest thing you can ever do when somebody's spreading rumors about you and you're trying to fix the rumor. Honestly, again, this was back in the 90s and it affected her life completely. If you ever go to Reddit, the stories on Reddit, and this is a more of an in-depth look of what happened. And honestly, while I'm playing this, I'm just gonna tell you, my sister did try and alleviate the situation. She made the problem so much worse because there were so many things that could have happened that would have gotten her arrested or even worse, because she literally felt like no one was going to believe her, and I literally told her to go to an adult and tell them. I literally told her to go to mom and tell them what was going on, and of course my little sister never, she just felt like she couldn't do it. She felt like it was inappropriate for my parents to be involved. And let me say this about my mom is like a bear, and if you screw with my mother, I feel really bad for you guys, because when I was growing up, well, let's just put it this way, when Rebecca Parham talks about her mom being one of those bear mothers, that was my mom. And let me tell you, my mother is one of those wonderful people that will she'll run into a fire just to save her kid. But in all of the years as a child growing up, my mother did not know half of the stuff that went on at that school. And to this day, most of the adults at that school that were at the school during the 1990s had literally no idea how much bullying was going on and how much anger and dissatisfaction a lot of these kids had. Let me tell you, my mother will tell you that some of these kids, she was massively surprised. I had not tried to suicide midway through my high school year because of how much bullying I actually went through. My sister literally almost wanted to take her own life as well because let's just say rumor mills are the worst, because it isn't just about how much damage it can cause, it's how much damage a parent can cause as well. My mother, to this day, I will tell you, she probably would have never done half the stuff she did unless she knew for sure something was really wrong. But my mom, on this occasion, didn't know, and to this day I don't think she could, because she's my mom. My mom is not Miss Perfect. My mom is, well, my mother. And of course my mother probably would not have reacted the way she did unless something was really legitimately wrong. So when people start making assumptions about rumors and stuff like that, it gets to the point where you go, huh, this is bullshit. So, after the rumor mill at Dakota Ridge, my sister went to a different school. This is where I'm going to tell you, I still to this day admire one person, and when I think about the fact that people talked really badly about this woman and how much her son did damage, nothing is her fault, really. It was not fair to put her on that kind of pedestal of hate. I'm speaking about a woman that probably did not know my mom, did not know that my mother and my sister and I existed. Even if Mrs. Klebold is watching this, Morella really did care about your son. She really did like him as a friend. But honestly, my sister and I both were very heartbroken, because all I remember from that incident is talking about video games and being kind of a doofus, because that's all the two boys ever talked to me about was, what kind of games are you into? Are you into this? Are you into that? I wasn't sure what I was looking at, per se. And I honestly, if anyone wants to chatter about what happens when bullying happens at a school, let me tell you, I to this day cannot fathom the stuff that my sister and I endured. I could never fathom anybody understanding what it was like at Dakota Ridge before some of the changes that were made, and some of them changes were very, very good. Some of them were not very good, but you know, I literally enjoyed some of their conversations about it, but honestly, my childhood was so awful about stuff. I have barely any memories that were good. But the incident that happened to my sister and the rumor mill that occurred, to this day I cannot fathom any of it. But unfortunately, there is no happy ending. I could not believe people actually believed Shefali over my sister and over my friends telling the truth, telling people that this is not how it happened, this is not my sister, she never did this, but people believed a girl who was popular, and my sister was not popular. My sister was a model who, to be quite honest, most people didn't really think was a model. I will mention that her modeling career was quite short. My sister was not happy being a model because of all the drama attached to it. I mean, how many people want to go to a convention and be remembered for doing a commercial for Nintendo? I will tell you, not many people want to go and do that. My mom to this day thinks it's quite comical. And I told my sister once that when I was in college, I went to Nandasacon and someone was playing that commercial, and someone said, I wonder what happened to that girl. And when you look at the commercial and think, oh my gosh, or My little sister was actually quite proud of one thing. Can I tell you that that commercial with the Punk CD was actually my sister's favorite CD of all, favorite, commercial of all time? I literally giggle each time I see that commercial because I'm sitting there going, I can't believe she actually liked doing that. Because many people think, and to this day I kind of agree with my mom on this one, that it was pretty funny. People actually thought it was kind of cute, kind of creative. And I don't blame people for saying, hey, your sister was actually kind of a cute person. And when I went to Dandasacon once, I just could not fathom people saying, oh my gosh, your sister is so cool. And to this day, I want to tell people, thank you very much. Morella was one of the nicest people in the universe, and what happened to her was not a fair shake. When I see the results of people coming to our Reddit and finding out what happened and how it took me a long time to write it because I had to come to grips with the fact that most people are probably not going to believe me. Yeah, I actually believed that. I actually believed no one would believe me because I thought Morella's story was much less believable, but then I got told I was believed, that my sister's story did matter and that people did listen and did believe me. And for that, I really do want to thank people because they really made it necessary to say something. Because honestly, Morella's existence at that school was really bad, and I to this day cannot believe people did that, or did that to anyone. So when people talk badly about you in a concept, I would love to see people actually tell. I really wish that Shafali, if she sees this, understands that what she did to Morella was not okay. It was just malicious and disgusting, and I never would ever do that to my sister or to anybody. I loved Morella very much, and people are going to be monsters. I can say that. People will be monsters because they don't want to listen. And I miss my little sister, and I miss being a big sister and being around my sister and saying, hey, you're such a cool sister, I don't want to ever lose you. But unfortunately, people say some pretty bad things about the person that I love. And I don't think I'll ever recover entirely, as well as most people think I should. I once told a friend, back in 2002, that, I just remember being told by a friend that that people think that your sibling is not as important as you think. I'm gonna just mention to people that I grew up around my little sister, and she was such a strong part of my family. And when I tell the story about how my little sister was bullied and treated, it comes off as a little, to some people, far-fetched. But when I saw the girl again years later, and I just said, "Oh, hi, long time no see," and I saw the look on her face. Shefali just looked like she just saw a ghost. So I was sort of like, okay, you just saw a ghost. That's nice. I think that it wasn't just the fact that I refused to, I don't think it's because I did anything that probably deserves to be a jerk. I think it was something to do with the fact that my little sister did something that deserves respect. If you ever go out with your family and you start going, my sister is... I'm just gonna say it, my little sister was a pain in my butt. My sister was a very big pain in my butt. But she was a good pain in my butt because she reminded me that everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is a person. And if you ever meet my family, you will discover there are family members in my house that are completely crazy, weird, and strange. My ex is a good example of somebody who kind of got adopted into my family. We broke up and we stayed close. We were good friends. We're still good friends. And that's something that I remember him saying to somebody, if you can't say something nice about Mariah, don't say something at all. And literally he did say that to people. And yeah, or Nagi. I prefer Nagi, so if you ever need to, just call me Nagi. My name, Nagi, actually comes from an anime I absolutely loved called Vice Cruise the Night Hunters, which is a really, really good anime. So, the bullying situation with Morella ended pretty badly, and to this day, I will always be a little afraid of what might happen, because people who bully will always go back and get bullied again, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with people being, jerks. My ex is one of the few people I know who, I will say, under no circumstances, don't ever piss him off, but he will tell you that people are jerks. People do stupid stuff. And when people do stupid stuff, they say and do things that are very, very bad. Or very, very wrong. So, I usually tell people, my sister is not somebody you want to screw with, but you also don't want to screw with my mom. So, I usually don't talk about this much, but, to those who actually read the R-Reddit about my sister, all of it's true. I never lied about it. Only thing that I did say to Shefali that I don't regret is that she could not join my anime club. And the only reason I said it, and it had a lot to do with how I'm sorry, but I don't want her to ever do that to my friends. My friends are people I love and respect, and I never wanted my little sister to be, dedicated to the fact that when people actually don't believe you, that's how it's that thing. My sister and I were very, very close. There were times when I was growing up that my little sister was like maybe one of the few people I associate with, but I love my little sister that much. And I miss her. But the one thing I miss, and I'm just gonna say it, is the transparency between siblings. Most people are like, oh, this never happened. Stop lying. I'm like, no, this happened. I loved my little sister, and I don't ever want to have that type of thing happen again. Okay, I'm gonna check something on the blue mage thing. Okay, I'm trying to find... Middle, across number 8. Killer Wisp. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a killer wisp. I think it's a killer wasp. Okay, killer wasp. In Middle Laquesca. 1515. Okay. Oh. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of going in and out of thoughts here. Mostly I'm still thinking about what happened and how to explain things to people, about my own cyberbullying issues. Because it relates much less to my sister. My little sister's cyberbullying was much not less cyber, more of a jealous girl who couldn't get over the fact that, my sister was a model and she wasn't. I think it was more the fact that the girl just couldn't stand the fact that my little sister had a lot more talent than her, and I think that's kind of a sad state for my sister because she was just a very, very sweet person who just didn't deserve what she got. I mean, be yourself is what I usually tell people. Don't let somebody else rule over you. My little sister was not a victim as much as people think she was, but it was more the fact that people believed whatever the hell they wanted to believe about my sister and just didn't care that my sister was a human being. One of the worst things I think happened to my sister, and I think it had a lot to do with how people at my old high school responded, was just the fact that they would rather believe a cheerleader than someone who's telling the truth, because obviously the cheerleader can't be a liar, was the mentality. And I kind of to this day don't trust cheerleaders that much, and most people attribute that as a bad thing. But when you meet the situation that I was in, there is a little bit more of an conversation. For those people who don't know, if you actually talked to one of my friends in high school, I was a very, very different person, but I was also very distrustful of people because of what happened with Morella. My mom to this day had always kind of felt bad because we couldn't really defend for my sister. We had no defense on how my sister was being treated, and honestly, I can kinda understand where people are coming from when they hear the term, blaming the victim. Honestly, I don't blame victims for the mistakes that happen, but there are some people in certain fan bases that I don't blame, that I do blame for their bullshit, and that is their own problems, and that's their own mistakes that they've made. One of my sister's friends, who I really have no trust for, is a girl that I don't really remember her name per se, but my childhood with her was not exactly pleasant. I believe she lived in Evergreen, and her parents were very, very rich, but they were kind of those parents that really should have thought before they had kids, because she was really, I'd say this was probably a really bad parenting situation, considering the parents of this kid was a complete, crap shot with the way they treated, children. Like, I literally have no clue how the hell these people became parents, because holy hell, this is like the worst parenting ever, and my mother to this day, I still don't know how the hell this happened. I'm trying to prolong an attack. Try to learn skills. the weird thing about it, about the whole incident with my sister and her cyberstalk and her stalking issues or her bullying issues was that there were girls that literally at my high school that just thought that because again cheerleader was being. Then I look at my own people that cyberstalked me when I was on Facebook and stuff, and I realized how similar and dissimilar it was. Because some people just think that your siblings, you're supposed to hate each other. I never hated my sister, honestly. There were days she annoyed the living hell out of me, but you know, what sister doesn't annoy... What sister doesn't? I'm just gonna say it. What little sister does not annoy their older sibling to the point of wanting to go, I hate you? Not very often. I mean, I've sat through. I've sat through a lot of things that my sister did that actually pissed people off. But then again, this is my little sister, so what Morello did was probably the fact that she did not like the fact that this girl was picking on. The whole thing also revolved around the fact that my sister did not like the leader, and her friend wanted her to be one. And my little sister, I will just tell you this now, Morella had literally no talent in doing cheerleading. My sister just looked kind of, she was into stuff that was like, she was into acting, she was into psychology, and stuff. So when I look at cheerleaders and they tell me that my little sister should have just gone with what Charlie wanted, I would probably just look at them like, you're really kidding me, right? You really think my little sister would be a good actress? Oh, frick no. Honestly, I don't even think Morella was interested in even going to Hollywood, really. Back in high school, she went to Hollywood for pilot season. And even in pilot season, my sister thought it was a goddamn joke. She met a few of the, one of them wanted to actually have my sister emancipated from my parents when she turned 16. And I will tell you something very funny about that incident. My mom, to this day, doesn't know that Morella had told me the whole story about that. And it was total bullshit. I mean, honestly, her going to acting classes was what she really wanted to do. She wanted to get into acting. She wanted to do all of that. But, of course, this is my little sister we're talking about, and my sister was into all sorts of really weird things. And honestly, when I tell people, no, Morella was not into cheerleading, she didn't want to be a cheerleader, that was all Shafali's ideas. And believe me, Shafali is like the dumbest person I have ever met. Quite frankly, I understand exactly where my mom was standing when Shafali lied to my mom about my sister had when they went to get their hair colored, my mom had spent a lot of money on it, and Shafali said that her parents were okay with it. And okay, here's the fucked up part. They weren't okay with it. She lied, and instead of telling the truth, she like about us, which kind of pissed off my mom. My mom brought that up as a slander suit, but honestly, all I remember from that yelling contest my mom had with Shafali's parents was the fact that the parents were that, oh my god, that irresponsible about a lot of things. The fact that Shafali's dad actually accused my mom of showing like Shafali underage porn, which is not even true. Interview with the Vampire is not pornography, by the way. I think that her father exaggerated a bit. Also when they lawyered up, which was even funnier, my mother actually told them that my mom could have gone to court over the slander and won because, oh my god, they're that stupid. And you can hear the whole, oh my freaking god, are you kidding me type of bull coming out of my mom's mouth. And I will tell you, my mom is not exactly this nice person. My mother is not a nice person. Honestly, again, I will reiterate this time and time again, if you ever watch Rebecca Parham talk about her mom with Medusa, yeah, that's my mother. Rebecca Parham's mom and my mom would probably be the same way. Except I never went to a private school, so yeah, she kind of ones up on me on that one. The private school thing probably would not be very smart for me, because my mother and my dad will tell you, I couldn't even survive Awana's. And I will tell you that was even funnier, considering Awana's for me was probably pale. Awana's for me was like, hello, do you really want to do something that irritates the hell out of people? Oh, jeez, I'd have to be a level 46 to do that one. Ooh. But yeah, do not ever, 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 ever piss off my mother, because my mom is not somebody you really, really want to piss off, because, been there, and done that, and I've seen, the look on people's face when they hear that my mother is really mad at people, and I honestly will tell somebody, I'm really sorry, my mom will, yeah. My mom is not the kind of person you really want to, yeah, you really don't want to piss my mother off. My mother is just not somebody you want to piss off. And I can tell you that now. More shroud. My mother is not someone you want to piss off, because if you do, sorry that, you pissed off my mother. Because my mother is a frickin' jerk. And I do not take sympathy on anybody. So, yeah. If you piss off my mother, it is on your own. You are on your own. I will not come and save you. I will not, explain to my mother what you did, how you did it, why you did it. I will just tell you, good luck. I'm really sorry. Run for the hills. Because my mother will not hold sympathy. I will tell you that now. My mother will not hold sympathy for you. She is not a forgiving person. The last time I grew up around my mom, and it is not an easy story to deal with, is my mom was a type of person that would yell at you. Do not piss off my mom. It is not a good I've told people about my mom, back when I was in elementary school. There was these kids that used to pick on me, and, literally, if people ever pissed off my mother, it got pretty gruesome, okay? I have seen my mother do some pretty mean as hell things to people. My mother is not somebody you say, I'm sorry to, or you try to be nice to. If you do something she does not approve of, my mom will let you know. I remember hearing about my nephew getting into Five Nights at Freddy's, and I said, oh shoot, I am not buying that for you. And I heard my mom ask why, and then I showed her videos, and she's like, okay. Looks at my nephew, no. Walks away. My mother is somebody you do not, you don't screw with her. And people have tried. My mother is one of those people have tried to screw with her. And I will tell you, when people try to screw with my mom, somebody gets hurt. And it is not a very pleasant hurt. I remember back in elementary school that we had a lady who was not a very nice lady, and my mother, oh boy, my mom was not a happy person. I will tell you, my mom was just one of those people who, if she was given an option and she went with it, there would be a person who would probably wish they were dead. Awesome, I learned Acorn Bomb. Self-destruct. Glide bomb. What is it? Okay, I'll just put an end to this now. Thank you for listening.